Hello there, grade. Today we're going to continue measuring length. Now, when we are measuring length, we normally measure from the start of 0 all the way to the end. But you can see sometimes in here, they did not start at 0. So we're going to learn how you can measure when you don't start at 0 as well. Let's first look at number 1. Now, it started at 0, so that means the length is where it lands here at the end. Which mark in inches does it land on? 6 inches. Go ahead and write 6-I-N. 6 inches. Number 2, you will do on your own. It starts at 0, so you can mark what the length is. Number 3, though, is a little bit different. Grab a red writing tool, and we're going to mark where it starts, because that is what we are going to have to subtract. It starts 1 inch in. That means that when I find the length right here, I'm going to have to subtract 1 inch. So now we can find the length that is marked right here. Let's zoom in a little bit, because we're going to have to mark the lines. Remember, when we are measuring we are measuring between two whole numbers. Our whole numbers here are 7 and 8. And we have marked that middle one. I want you to look at the length. See how it is the longest out of all of the other lengths? That is the ½ mark. I can also see that it is the ½ inch because it takes me 2 halves to get to the next whole number. So this is 1 out of 2. And what was the last whole number that we passed? 7. This is 7½ inches. This line means 7½ inches. Write that down now. Now we have to go back to that number we have to subtract to find the actual length of this line. I have to take away 1 inch. So what's 1 inch less than 7½ inches? That would be 6½ inches. On number 3, write out 6 1/2 inches. Now let's move on. We're going to skip number 4. So you're going to answer number 4 on your own. You'll go to the end. Again, measure the length. And let's look at number 5. Oh, it's even shorter. I'm going to estimate, because I can see it's between 1 inch, but it's not as long as 2 inches. So it's probably about 1.5 inches. But I'm going to have to figure out what that would be. By estimating first, you can check your answer. So at the beginning, that starts at 6 inches. So that means that whatever I get, I'm going to have to subtract 6 inches. Because there are 6 inches before the start of it. Now, the end lands right here, and that is between 7 and 8. Ooh, and it's right in the middle. It's that second longest line. So that again is showing me 7½ Now I have to do that same thing and subtract to find the actual length. So what is 7½ minus 6? What is 7 minus 6? 7 minus 6 is 1, and then we bring the 1/2 over. 1 1/2. Oh, we were right in our estimate. number 5, is 1 1/2 inches, IN. Number 6, you will answer on your own. You'll go to the end. It is between 6 and 7, so you'll have to do your hops and find what that length is and write it on the line. Number 7, you will also do on your own. You'll have to subtract the length at the beginning from the total length to find how long it is. The last one we'll do together is number 8. So the other way you can estimate how long something is by looking at how many inches it is in between. So instead of looking at the numbers down here, you can look at how many inches it is in between. So I have 1 inch, 2 inch. So this length is 2 inches. We can go ahead and write that on the line for number 8, 2 inches. And we can do the same thing for number 9. Let's look at the length. I'm not going to look at where it is on the ruler, but I see a inch mark right here and an inch mark right here. Inch marks are the longest. So it is 1 inch long. Number 9 is 1 inch long. Now you will answer number 10 on your own, and all of those others highlighted in yellow. If you need to go back and finish any of the problems that we did, you can go back now. Make sure you have them all filled out before you move on to the next activity.